I've been tagged nonstop in Michael Rapaport's interview. And yes, I watched it. And you know what? I will welcome him with open arms into our voting world. But as a New Yorker, in the same breath, I'm saying F you. F you for what you said about us for 3 years straight. F you for having the platform that you do and literally isolating half of the country. Because you know what? You could say sorry all you want now. I'm glad you woke up. But I'll never forget what you said. And I'll never forget the baby-ass rants you went on. Shitting on people about COVID, shitting on people about Trump. Like, grow the fuck up. You're an adult fucking man who is a product of Hollywood who happens to live in New York. Now you're finally seeing what's going on? Again, I'm thankful for it, but still, you from a New Yorker who had to listen to all your bullshit for 3 years.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about formerly Trump deranged Hollywood actor Michael Rapaport, who has come out here and declared that he is not going to vote for Biden. In fact, he may vote for Trump. Now, Michael Rapaport is a very interesting figure to analyze psychologically, okay? And one of the reasons why is because he seems to be one of the rare individuals that have been cured of his Trump derangement. I don't know just yet. I can't declare and say that he's completely Trump derangement free. I mean, he's not, right? But I'm just saying, if anything, he gives us clues that maybe, just maybe, the cure for Trump derangement lies in what I tell you guys all the time about how to red pill a Democrat / liberal / progressive, which is just to give them what they want, right? Give them what they want. And Michael Rapaport got what he voted for, okay, when he voted for Joe Biden. And now he's fed up, right? He's through with Biden because of his policies, mainly because of his policy of, I guess, not being pro-Israel enough. And I think he's kind of realized that the left side of the aisle, his side of the aisle, is not a fan of Israel, okay? And I think because of that, more so than anything, this is why he's having the awakening. But hey, you know, it's better for him to have the awakening and to, you know, wake up and realize that, hey, maybe, just maybe, I should vote for Trump, or who knows, not vote at all. It's okay if he doesn't vote at all, okay, because otherwise he would vote for Biden. So if he doesn't vote at all, I'm okay with that too. Regardless of how he got there, the fact is that he got there, okay? And Michael Rapaport got there when you have other individuals, like, for example, Stephen A. Smith, who hasn't gotten there. Because, in my opinion, there's not much of a difference between listening to somebody like Michael Rapaport talk as a liberal versus watching somebody like Stephen A. Smith talk. He's a liberal as well. But yet Michael Rapaport comes to a completely different conclusion than Stephen A. Smith. Okay, Stephen A. Smith comes out here and says, well, I know that the Biden administration is bad, and I actually grew up with conservative values, right? My mother was a conservative, okay? This is what he says. However, I'm still going to vote for Biden, right? Doesn't make sense at all, okay? Doesn't make sense. He doesn't say I'm not going to vote or I might vote for Trump. No. He says I'm still going to vote for Joe Biden. Michael Rapaport, on the other hand, says, hey, Biden policies are bad. I don't want to vote for him for X, Y, and Z reason, and I'm not going to vote for him, right? And I might vote for Trump, which is the logical conclusion, right? Stephen A. Smith, he's not reaching a logical conclusion, right? And I think it is interesting to analyze the difference between the two, okay? And the fact that Stephen A. Smith, although he has one infinity stone of wokeness, he still works for a network like Disney, okay? And his infinity stone of wokeness cannot overcome the reality of the pushback that he would get if he came out here and declared that he would vote for Trump, which is why he doesn't have the cojones to come out here and say, I'm going to vote for Trump, which would be the logical conclusion of some of his rants that he goes on all the time against Democrats. The reason why he can't do it is because he knows that he would get so much backlash, right? He would be stripped of his blackness, right? He admitted it himself that they be calling him all types of sellouts and racial slurs and stuff like that, right? He knows that, okay? On the other hand, Michael Rapaport, although he's a creation of Hollywood, Michael Rapaport has the most powerful infinity stone of wokeness that you can have, okay? His infinity stone of wokeness is so powerful that it doesn't matter if he comes out here and overtly supports Trump, okay? Because his infinity stone of wokeness overcomes everything, right? And I really do think that is the difference, right? Michael Rapaport knows that he can't be canceled, okay? Because his infinity stone of wokeness is all powerful, right? If there's one infinity stone of wokeness that you want to obtain is this one, right? The one that Michael Rapaport has, okay? Because again, any type of criticism of him, okay, in his choice to support, Trump for various reasons, again, you're never going to see anybody try to strip him of his identity and to say that he doesn't actually really have that infinity stone of wokeness. This is the only infinity stone of wokeness that cannot be taken away from you if you have it. Just think about it, okay? Everybody else with less powerful infinity stones of wokeness, if you fall out of line politically, they take it away from you, right? Stephen A. Smith, he comes out and says he supports Trump. You ain't black, right? A gay man comes out and says that, hey, I support Trump. You ain't gay, okay? You ain't trans, okay? Blair White, right? You ain't really trans because you support Trump. Or you ain't really a woman, okay? If you support Trump, okay? This is what they do. However, with Michael Rapaport's infinity stone of wokeness, he can come out here and support Trump and they can't take it away from him, right? Nobody would dare, right, actually try to take it away from him and to say that he's not really who he says he is, okay? Again, that's what you got to keep in mind here, okay? That's the funny part about this. So with that being said, I think that it is interesting to compare people like Stephen A. Smith versus Michael Rapaport because these are the people that will decide the election, right? The people who know better, okay, who are, Biden supporters or more towards the middle, who are like, I really shouldn't vote for this guy, right? And whether or not these people actually line up and vote for him, okay, is going to determine the outcome of the election. And that is why people like Michael Rapaport or Stephen A. Smith or Bill Maher or Joe Rogan or, any of these people, right, that we like to pay attention to when it comes to their political viewpoints. This is why they're important because, again, they do kind of represent the people who can be swayed, right? And Michael Rapaport here is going to further expand on his political awakening and why he's not voting for Biden.
He's shifted. You've been a very vocal anti-Trump.
Yes.
And probably the most vocal anti-Trump celebrity out there.
Yes.
Have your views shifted? I mean, a lot of Israelis are very supportive of Donald Trump, right?
Stefan, in all honesty, I have educated myself so much since 2016, and I have a ways to go. My political views have changed immensely, and they're changing at a rapid pace. I will not vote for Joe Biden. I do not support anybody from the squad. I think they're totally full of shit. I think they're dangerous. I think they're race hustlers. I think they're cons. I think inevitably they want to get themselves production deals to produce documentaries. I think they're three-card Monty playing bullshit artists. I think they totally have an agenda. I have said, not to go down the rabbit hole, that at this point when we're doing this interview, voting for Trump is on the table. People are like, what are you talking about? That's my reality. That is my reality.
Now, here's the thing. All this was apparent, okay, in terms of this awakening. All this was very clear before the Israel stuff, right? Before what happened on October 7th, okay? And don't get me wrong, Michael Rapaport was waking up before then, okay? He was posting videos about crime and stuff like that, but he wasn't here. He wasn't at this point, okay? The reason why he got to this point, which again, by the way, this is a great thumbnail. This will go on the thumbnail. I love when I get perfect thumbnail screenshots, okay? I feel like I'm pretty good at this, okay? But anyways, it wasn't until what happened on October 7th. So again, I'm not necessarily jumping up and down in regards to his reasoning and what it took, okay? Because it basically took a conflict that is happening with another country for him to get to this point. But regardless, okay, all the stuff that he's saying, this was stuff that was clear and obvious before what happened with Israel and Hamas, right? It's just amazing to me that it takes something like that, of a conflict that's happening in a foreign country, for you to wake up and see that, oh, these people are actually not good in regards to the policies for the country. Again, that's what really kind of irks me a little bit, right? Because you should have realized this way before what happened on October 7th. You should have known this before the 2020 election. These people have been far leftist forever, right? Biden, his policies that he was campaigning on were terrible. Biden was campaigning on open borders in 2019, in 2020, right? During the primary, okay? You didn't need to vote for him and to get the policies for you to understand that this is what he was pushing for. But again, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt, because a lot of people, a lot of these liberals don't understand that their policies are bad until they actually get to experience those policies. So it is what it is.
I will not support anybody who's anti-Israel. I will not support anybody that is anti, making America safe. I'm not supporting anybody that is cool with the fact that it takes me 2.5 hours to get back into America from Toronto at the what is it called? The passport at the
Passport control.
The line to go from Toronto to New York. It takes me 2.5 hours, as it should, but it takes you 2 minutes to cross the border. I'm not down with that shit. I'm not down with police officers in the greatest city on earth getting beaten up, and you're a legal immigrant, and then you have no bail. I'm not down with
and flipping off the camera.
Flipping off the fucking camera like Tupac when he got arrested and he was coming out in the red Detroit Red Wings t-shirt. I'm not down with going into a Costco or a 7-Eleven or a Rite Aid, as I videotaped once and went crazy viral, cleaning out the spot and walking like you're on like a beautiful spring day walk.
But see, again, here's the thing. I'm happy that you're realizing now that all these things are bad, but how did you not realize that when they were campaigning on this stuff, right? When they were telling you that, hey, we don't want to lock criminals up because we think it's racist to put black people in jail, okay? Where were you then, right? Where were you when they were actually campaigning on this stuff and they were trying to get elected based off this stuff? Because you were out here, because of your Trump derangement, helping them out. Trying to pretend like Trump was the worst thing in the world. Trump was so evil. He's so bad. Your Trump derangement clouded your judgment so much that you voted for these things that you're now complaining about. Again, I'm happy that you're waking up and that, you're coming over to the right side of the aisle, so to speak. But again, I have to question, why is it that it took this much for you to wake up and realize this? That's the problem. Why is it that liberals have to experience bad policy before they realize that, hey, this is bad policy? It reminds me of what's going on in California right now with the minimum wage stuff. Why is it that you have to actually experience the minimum wage being increased for fast food workers to $20 an hour before you realize that, hey, this is bad, right? This isn't good. This is not all it's cut out to be. Now that prices are rising, businesses are closing, there are mass layoffs. Okay, why do you have to experience all that in order for you to realize that, hey, this is not good policy? Why is it that you can't just use your brain and your common sense to figure out that being soft on crime is not a good thing? Or that telling illegal immigrants to come to the border, right, to come into the country is probably not a good idea? I don't understand. I don't get it. These people have to literally vote for this stuff and get it before they realize that, oh, this is bad. While the rest of the country, the same parts of the country, are actively telling you that, yo, you don't want this. This doesn't make sense. And then we're looked at as bigots. We're looked at as racist because we're saying that this is bad policy and that you should not have to experience it before you realize that it's bad policy. Again, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I'm not down with any of that shit. So any of these people that support it, I'm not voting for them. So yes, my political views have changed a lot. I'm voting with my money and I'm voting with Israel. I'm not getting caught up or suckered into these race politics.
Imagine voting with a foreign country, bro. Come on, dog. Again, this is why I can't get too excited about this stuff, because it's like, bro, half of this is like, yo, I mean, yeah, some of it is that, the country that you live in is in a bad place. But a lot of it is, well, this other country, this foreign country, right? This is why I'm voting. Again, it reminds me of when Ben Shapiro came out here, and all of a sudden after Chuck Schumer declared that Netanyahu should be voted out, right? I mean, Democrats call for a regime change in Israel, which is unheard of, by the way. He now comes out and say, I'm raising money for Trump. I'm fundraising for Trump, right? Now, he tried to preface that announcement with, well, I'm supporting Trump for all these reasons that have to do with America. But I don't think it's a coincidence that all of a sudden he's super pro-Trump when Democrats have come out here and overtly said that, hey, we want regime change in Israel, right? Even though effectively Democrats haven't done anything but talk, right? They haven't done anything but talk. And that's probably all they're going to do for the most part is just talk. These people who are voting in this country based off the best interests of other countries, again, it just don't sit right with me. I don't care what country it is. It will never sit right with me. Again, I'm happy that they're on the right side of the aisle. I'm happy that they're supporting Trump. I'm happy that Ben Shapiro is fundraising for Trump. I'm happy that Michael Rapaport is waking up. But again, part of me is just like, well, what happens when Democrats all of a sudden become pro-Israel, right? Or Trump all of a sudden says, you know what? Maybe there should be a ceasefire, which is what Trump essentially alluded to in a recent interview that, hey, you know, Israel needs to wrap up this operation in Gaza, right? They need to really go ahead and finish this quickly, get the job done, right? Which is essentially Trump alluding to this idea that he's not on board with this forever war, right? He's not necessarily happy to see Israel conducting this operation for an extended amount of time, right? This is what he said in an interview. So what happens when Trump changes stances, if he changes stances, which, you know, hey, Trump has been the most pro-Israel president that we've had in a long time. I mean, the guy was responsible for the Abraham Accords, which was good for Israel, okay, and normalizing foreign relations with their Arab neighbors. He's also responsible for the U.S. recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and moving the embassy there. So I'm just saying, you know, Trump historically has been very pro-Israel, but what happens if all of a sudden he says, hey, look, I don't agree with what you're doing, okay, for whatever reasons, and he says, well, in the U.S.'s best interest, it's better for Israel not to do this or not to do that. Are people like Michael Rapaport all of a sudden going to switch back and support Democrats again, right? Is Ben Shapiro going to stop being pro-Trump? Is he going to stop fundraising for Trump? Again, that's my question, right? So again, I'm happy that they've come to this conclusion, right? That, hey, you know, we go support Trump or whatever, and then Michael Rapaport said is on the table, but he says he's not voting for Biden. I'm just saying, though, if your allegiance and your support is aligned with the best interests of a foreign country, I got issues with that, okay? I got issues because that means that it can flip-flop based off which party is going to be best for the foreign country that you believe should be prioritized over this country. That's what it seems like to me. So again, I don't get too excited about this stuff.
Or any of that bullshit anymore. Yeah, they have changed, and they're going to continue to change and evolve. It's a crazy time, American politics.
Do you consider yourself white? Speaking of race hustle.
Do I consider myself white? I consider myself Jewish. When people have always asked me, you know, in New York, it's like, especially the New York that I grew up in, black people, Puerto Rican people, Irish people, Italian people. You know, if me and you were growing up the way you look, I look, they would say, what are you? You say, I'm Polish. Okay. They say, what are you? I'm Jewish. Oh, you look Irish. Nah, I'm Jewish. I've always led with that. Of course I'm white. Of course I'm, you know, physically white. But when people say, what are you? I say, I'm Jewish. Because if you don't, you're not saying to me, what are you? And going, are you black or white? You know that I'm physically white. So when people say, what are you? I always said I'm Jewish. I've always led with being Jewish.
Yeah. Well, when people ask me, what am I lead with, I'm American, right? That's what I lead with. Yeah, I'm American. What are you, American? Yeah, I'm American. I don't even say black American. Yeah, I'm American, right? If I go to a foreign country, where you from? America? What are you? American? Right? I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, you know, Michael Rapaport has the right to his opinions. Again, I'm glad he's waking up, but I'm still skeptical for various reasons, okay? But regardless, you know, at this time, we can use all the support that we're going to get, even if Michael Rapaport doesn't vote for Trump. If he chooses not to vote for Biden, and there's a lot of people like him that are saying that, hey, I'm not going to vote for Biden, I'm going to sit out, okay, for various reasons, hey, I'll take that too, right? I am not going to give him too much of a hard time. I'm just saying that, you know, characters like him, you really got to watch, because it seems like his priority isn't really with America as much as with another country. And hey, that's his you know, that's his right, but still, you know, it's something that you got to keep an eye out for, because they can flip on a dime. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.